Good morning, writers. Let's get started with our writing learning intention. Today's date is 1/22, and today as a writer I am working on citing textual evidence. So boys and girls, when you graduate from high school, you'll get something called a yearbook, just like you do at Greenland, that has a photo of each person in your graduating class. Traditionally, in the high school yearbook, right underneath each senior's photo, there's a quote or a sentence that either they made up or it might come from a book or a song or a poem that they really felt was special at the time. So here's an example of that. It just happens to be my senior picture from my yearbook with my quote underneath. So the reason I'm talking to you about quotations is because as you get older, you'll find there's more grown-up expectations on you in your writing. And one of those will be the expectation that you include more direct quotations in your writing. Using exact quotes in our writing or in a story makes that story come to life. So it shouldn't be surprising to you when I say that as you move towards middle school and high school, it becomes just as important when writing about texts to directly quote those texts. So it goes without saying that choosing a quote is a really big deal. Whether it's for your yearbook photo, like mine over here, or for your literary essay. So today I want to teach you that essayists work hard to find just right quotations to include in their essays. We know it's just right when it provides strong evidence for our claim and makes our readers say, I see what you mean. So that brings us back to our chart for how to write a literary essay. We are now to the point where we are collecting evidence. We just worked on collecting micro-stories, and today we'll be working on another way to collect evidence through quotes. In my essay about Fox, my thesis is that dog is a good friend. We found a lot of evidence of that, didn't we? And we know that the story Fox is overflowing with passages that support the idea that dog is a good friend. The important thing we have to remember is to weigh which of the quotes provides the strongest evidence for our ideas. Let's take a look at a chart that can help us with this. When choosing a quote, essayists ask, can I point to specific words or actions that support my bullet? And can I explain exactly how these words or actions support my bullet? Let's start by looking at some of the quotes I found to support my first bullet or my first reason. Dog is a good friend because he is caring. Let's take a look at 3 different quotes from the story, and then we'll work to weigh which provides the stronger evidence. Here's the first one. And so dog runs with Magpie on his back every day, through summer, through winter. Here's our next one. In the evenings, when the air is creamy with blossom, dog and Magpie relax at the mouth of the cave, enjoying each other's company. And finally our third. Magpie tries to warn dog about Fox. He belongs nowhere, she says. He loves no one. So what I do in order to decide which is the best evidence is I reread the passages that I could possibly cite, thinking which would be the strongest, then the next strongest, and so on. Will you look with me and give me a thumbs up when you've decided? Turn and tell your partner what you think. Which is the strongest, then the next strongest, then the least strongest? Right now, I'm starting to think that this one right here is my strongest piece of evidence, where dog and Magpie are relaxing at the mouth of the cave, enjoying each other's company. It shows that they're relaxing and enjoying each other's company, so they're being good friends to each other. But before I want to jump right away and decide that this is the quote I'm going to use, I want to go back and ask myself those questions that we had talked about before. So can I point to specific words or actions that support my bullet? In the evenings, when the air is creamy with blossom, dog and magpie relax at the mouth of the cave, enjoying each other's company. As I'm looking at what to underline, I'm noticing that these words are showing that they're enjoying each other's company, but actually here I'm trying to look for showing that dog is caring. Enjoying each other's company really doesn't show that dog is caring. So I'm thinking now, maybe this really isn't very strong evidence for my first bullet. So I'm going to move this one over here. I don't think that's strong anymore. So let's take a look back at the last two quotes I have here. This last one here says magpie tries to warn dog about fox. This one's really more showing what magpie is doing than what dog is doing. So I think I'm going to push that one aside and we'll take a look at this last one. And so dog runs with magpie on his back every day, through summer, through winter. Let's see, I think in this one, I might underline every day. That is a specific word that I do think can really support my bullet of he is caring. Because it shows that dog is doing what makes magpie happy every single day, even when it's cold and he probably doesn't want to, because he is caring. So as you can see, even just a few minutes of working to sort quotes is helping us learn so much about how to find really effective quotes. It really helps to weigh which is the best and make sure that there are specific words or phrases that match your reason and that can explain how the passage supports your thesis. So now, before we leave the carpet, I'd like you to start giving this a try. Let's take a chance to practice weighing some possible quotes, selecting one that best makes your case. So why don't you take one of the bullets from your essay, or one of the reasons that you have, and quickly skim through your text and underline a few quotes that you think you could use as evidence for that reason. Then, ask yourself these two questions right here. Can I point to specific words or actions? And can I explain exactly how these words or actions support my bullet? So that you can then choose from those quotes which one you think provides the strongest evidence. I want you to do this work on your own for a minute, and then we'll share with our partner, who can help us decide since they're reading the same story as well. Now turn and talk with your partner. Have them help you decide which is the strongest quote, or if you already think you've decided, talk to them about what specific words or actions support your reason. So writers, as you go off today, you're going to continue collecting evidence in your story booklets. Today, I would like you to work really hard to try to collect at least one quote for each reason. Remember, one good strategy is to start by choosing a handful of possible quotes for each reason, and then to pick the best ones by thinking about which ones give the strongest evidence for that bullet and why. Work hard and make it a great day.